If you're invested in the world of the Asian entertainment industry, you might have heard of the name Kiko Mizuhara before. She made tons of headlines back in 2015 as G-Dragon's rumored girlfriend. That's not all there is to her though, because in Japan, she's better known for speaking on social issues that everyone turns a blind eye to. Kiko, who's also known as Audrey Kiko Daniel, was born in Texas in the 90s. She was born to an American father and a mother of Zainichi Korean descent. She only lived in the United States for 2 years because her parents made the decision to pack up their lives and move to Japan. Their happiness as a family there didn't exactly last long, as her parents split up and got a divorce when Kiko was only 13. After this tragic event, Kiko's father went back to the US, leaving her, her mother, and her little sister to fend for themselves. Luckily, they were just fine on their own. They were living together in Kobe, where Kiko was signed to a modeling agency. She shared that at the time she was already taking acting classes. She was even modeling for some local jobs, which shows she's been on this career path since she was just a little kid. At the age of 12, Kiko's mother suggested that she audition for 17, a very popular teen fashion magazine. This was the first time she set foot in the big world of fashion, and it was an immediate success. At the tryouts for the magazine, she was chosen to be Miss 17. This was great news because it meant that she would sign an exclusive contract with the magazine, making her their lead model for 3 years. Speaking about the experience, Kiko revealed she didn't feel any pressure because she was just a kid who didn't really understand the gravity of it all just yet. Despite Kiko's seemingly reckless approach to modeling, she went on to become the country's catwalk queen. At just 16, she took a big leap of faith, leaving her mother and sister behind to pursue her dreams in Tokyo. This big move proved to be a turning point in her career. The minute she set foot in Tokyo, she landed an exclusive contract with Vivi, a magazine giant that holds immense influence within Asia's fashion scene. She then became a regular on the runway for the prestigious Tokyo Girls collection, which made her gain attention beyond Japan's borders. By 2014, Kiko had made a remarkable international catwalk debut, solidifying her place among the fashion world's elite. Since then, she's graced runways in all the major fashion capitals. However, beneath all the dazzling lights and gorgeous outfits, Kiko acknowledged that the life of a model isn't always that glamorous. Her international breakthrough wasn't as easy as it sounds because the beauty standards were very different at that time. Dishing on this a bit more, she said, "I kept getting rejected as nobody wanted Asian models at that time. I was heartbroken. But then, thanks to social media, the definition of beauty changed. I never thought it would happen, but I'm finally getting recognized." Around this time, Kiko started getting more vocal about her beliefs and pointed out things she disagreed with. When it came to modeling, she shared that although she loves fashion, she's not that fond of the industry. She gave her 2 cents on the industry's newfound importance of diversity and how it has led to companies choosing models in a very calculated way. She explained that they choose models from various ethnicities to fulfill a quota rather than valuing their individual qualities. Showing that she's not the hugest fan of this approach, she said, "When diversity started becoming important in the industry around 5 years ago, I got many job offers as a representative of Asia. In one sense, I was happy, but at the same time, I was slightly put off by it as I wanted to be recognized for being myself." Of course, Kiko doesn't only work as a model, as she's also a globally renowned actress. Acting was actually never part of her plan, and her cinematic journey began all by accident. Someone involved in the production of the movie adaptation of Murakami's Norwegian Wood spotted her in a magazine, which is how she got to play the role of Midori. Her time on set wasn't always the greatest though, as she said. "During filming, the director was very strict and purposefully said mean things to me. There would be 50 takes, but then he'd end up using the first one. He did it so I'd learn and improve." After starring in this movie, Kiko became a global sensation, and she quickly found out about all the things wrong with the world she was working in. She was once asked what her views were on feminism in Japan, to which she responded by saying that sexism is everywhere, especially on Japanese TV. She explained that it's so deep-rooted in the culture that some Japanese women even dream of being a good wife. Although this is a sweet sentiment, it stems from inequality that's taught in the media and in schools. Sharing her own experience with this, Kiko said, "One time this guy told me if I stayed single for too long, I'm 25, that in a few years men would not be interested in me because I'd be old. I told him, I will be even more attractive when I'm 50. Even on set, Kiko has had some of the worst experiences. When she was filming the Netflix movie Ride or Die, she witnessed producer Umegawa Haruo grope an actress' thigh while they were having a meal. Right after this, Kiko requested a skinship scene coordinator to be present on set. This is a person person that makes sure these more physical scenes all happen in a safe environment. She said, "I've been thinking for a long time that an intimacy coordinator should be introduced in Japan, and I suggested it to Netflix right after that meal. This small request caused a lot of problems because Umagawa Haruo then warned her, saying, 'I'm not a subcontractor, so don't communicate directly with Netflix.' Eventually, Netflix gave in and approved her request, but it was definitely not enough to make Kiko feel comfortable on set. A production official shared her story and said Umagawa Haruo treated Kiko Mizuhara as a hindrance. He sent her messages several times in the middle of the night, ordering her to not mess up the filming. Kiko Mizuhara was mentally exhausted to the point that she wanted to give up." Kiko has been very vocal about all the harassment that takes place in the Japanese entertainment industry. In an interview, she revealed that she's been harassed by directors plenty of times. They would make questionable remarks without thinking about it, but these comments stuck with her for the rest of her career. She's not the only one who's been in the middle of these awful situations, because she even shared stories of friends who've been in similar positions. She said, "I've heard a lot of heartbreaking stories from many of my colleagues around, so things like this must be happening very often." One of her colleagues was harassed while acting with an older male co-star. Allegedly, this actor refused to apply adhesive tape on his private part, leading to the actress being touched inappropriately without any interference from the director or crew. Kiko also spoke up on behalf of Kaori, a fellow model who had some very bad experiences with Nobuyoshi Araki, a photographer who's known for taking very explicit pictures. In a blog post, Kaori accused Araki of financial and artistic exploitation, including making her pose without clothes in front of others and using her images without her consent. While she did not accuse him of harassment, she highlighted issues of working without a contract, irregular payment, and misuse of her pictures. Kaori, who was considered his muse, shared her story encouraged by the Me Too movement and stopped working with him in 2016. On her Instagram story, Kiko reacted to the situation, saying, "My heart ached thinking how much pain Kaori has endured for such a long time. I appreciate her courage to share this story." She continued by emphasizing that models are not objects that men can just use for their own entertainment. Netizens didn't exactly appreciate Kiko's post, as they were salty about the alleged comments she made about her unofficial ex-boyfriend G-Dragon. A Japanese website spread a rumor saying that Kiko claimed G-Dragon was bad in bed and that his private parts were small. Netizens took these unverified remarks to heart and commented things like, "She's the one that said G-Dragon was small and bad in bed in an interview. Doesn't she think he would feel humiliated too? And what she did to G-Dragon should also be a part of Me Too." Netizens made these claims based on nothing, completely undermining the horrible experiences both Kiko and her colleagues have had in the industry. Even as a model, Kiko's wishes weren't respected. When she was in her early 20s, she took part in a corporate advertisement shoot where she was asked to pose topless with her hands covering her chest. Even though she didn't want tons of people to see her bare-chested, about 20 men still entered the room, despite the fact that she preferred that not to happen. She said it was her job, so she couldn't do anything about it. Due to all of these horrible experiences, Kiko vowed to only participate in projects of acquaintances or people she trusts. She explained that working in an environment where she feels safe and comfortable also improves the quality of her work. Because of this and her outspokenness on these sensitive topics, tons of Japanese netizens have turned against her, even making her out to be anti-Japanese. After speaking up about the harassment taking place in the industry, she received so much backlash to the point she even cried on Instagram Live about it. Netizens brought up Kiko's race when attacking her, saying degrading things about her since she's half Zainichi Korean and half white. In her live stream, she tearfully addressed the situation and said, "More and more people attacked me because of the fact that I'm half Korean. I know there's nothing I can do about it, but it hurts me a lot. It's really scary and frightening." Although the Japanese have turned their back on her for exposing their dark industry secrets, her bond with her international fans is stronger than ever.